Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. We're digging deeper into the impact the president's new tax bill will have on you. It could mean thousands in savings for most Long Islanders. On average, households could see a cut of about $2,800, according to a nonpartisan think tank. President Trump's mega bill also boosts the child tax break, increases the standard deduction, and cuts taxes on tips and overtime. A Lynbrook man is accused of assaulting a PSEG employee. Police say that employee was investigating hazardous materials in East Rockaway Saturday when John Spears confronted him and hit him repeatedly. The victim was not seriously hurt. The EPA will lay out its plan to clean up a Superfund site in Garden City Park. The agency wants to install monitoring wells at what used to be a fabric cutting mill on Fulton Avenue. It's holding a public meeting Thursday evening at the Garden City Library. Only a Newsday, repairs are planned at one of the island's oldest cemeteries. Monfort Cemetery in Port Washington is home to some of North Hempstead's earliest residents. Some lived during the 1700s.
It was really a family burying ground in their backyard. It wasn't even formally established as a cemetery.
$10,000 will help restore the cemetery. Work is expected to begin this fall. The island was center stage for one of wrestling's biggest nights. UBS Arena hosted TNA's annual Slammiversary yesterday. It brought thousands of diehard fans to Elmont.
I've never been to a TNA show, so the fact that it's like local, I could just go pop in, I'm down.
The last time the company ran a show on Long Island was 2013 at the Westbury Music Fair. Checking out your Monday weather, we're in for a nice summer stretch. The sun is out today and will be for the rest of the work week. We're looking at a beautiful sunrise this morning at Cooper's Beach in Southampton. Highs are in the mid-80s across much of the island with a light breeze. Now tomorrow, temps are a little cooler. You can turn off the AC at night and open the windows because we're dropping into the 60s. Temperatures rise back up into the 80s for the rest of the work week. It's not until the weekend we see the threat of some rain, and of course we will keep you updated on any changes there.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Island homes and businesses save with solar for over 20 years.
Within moments of my inauguration, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history.
On the campaign trail, then presidential candidate Donald Trump promised to deport the worst of the worst. Violent criminal offenders was a term used often.
We have never committed even the most minor crime.
20-year-old Sarah Lopez Garcia is the Suffolk Community College honors student who was arrested by immigration agents at her Mastic apartment in May. She had no criminal record and said she had a special juvenile immigration status, which is no longer being recognized. 41-year-old Fernando Mejia was a popular manager of Schmear Bagel and Cafe in Port Washington. He was detained in June on his way back from making a food delivery and also had no criminal history. Advocates and immigration attorneys argue neither of them are violent criminal offenders and say their stories are more of the reality of what's happening here on Long Island.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Most people that are being apprehended right now do not have any criminal record. You know, their families, they're people who are showing up for work every day.
With the recent passage of Trump's mega bill, which includes $170 billion for immigration enforcement, larger questions are now being asked about the future of the country's undocumented population.
How do we create exemptions or carve outs for certain working class groups, for certain, farmers, hospitality workers, people who have been in the country for more than a decade and have paid their taxes. So, on both sides of the aisle, we're seeing those discussions happen. But again, this is an issue that hasn't solved itself for more than 40 years.
Republican Congressman Nick LaLotta said in a statement, in part, I would support legislation that offers long-term work visas, not citizenship, Medicaid, or SNAP, to the best of the best, nonviolent non-citizens who are here unlawfully but are willing to come forward, pass a background check, pay a fine, and get on a taxable payroll. Andrew Garbarino, who reached out to the White House regarding the college students' case, tells Newsday in a statement, immigration enforcement is critical, but the deportation of gang members, drug dealers, and criminals should be prioritized before a college student. Honorio, a 34-year-old farm worker, husband and father of 3 from Mexico, says the mass deportations are creating fear and panic among workers who acknowledge they entered the country illegally, but say they've been here for years and are working hard.
I
think they should, for example, look for the ones who are criminals, the real criminals. Everyone agrees with that, but when they take a worker who is going to work, I think that's wrong because he's coming to pursue a dream.
I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Looking back at a legacy of life-saving, we're highlighting the 106 Rescue Wing's response in the wake of a devastating storm.
It was like a scene out of Mad Max or something, you know?
The elite West Hampton beach-based search and rescue unit responded to the aftermath of Hurricane Irma, which devastated parts of the Caribbean back in 2017.
There was a lot of people trying desperate to get out.
Combat Rescue Officer Lieutenant Colonel Sean Bogle and his team were deployed to Puerto Rico, but eventually headed to St. Martin, where the situation was desperate.
A nice, lush, green island and palm trees and whatnot. All that was gone, and it was like flying around the mountains of Afghanistan. It was all brown, and all the vegetation had been basically blown away. Boats, cars, houses flattened.
The 106 linked up with other responding military units, most from different countries.
It's mayhem on the island, but there's a lot of Americans that need to get out.
Among them, a U.S. airman and his wife, stranded on the island, facing a life-threatening situation.
They're honeymooning in St. Martin. The woman is a diabetic and has no insulin, and she ran out, and it's desperate.
There was violence and there was looting, and the roads were blocked as the team searched for the couple.
They had to go through the island. They had to find them because it was not easy to find them. They had to basically commandeer or get a vehicle from the Dutch Marines. All the while, there's lawlessness going on, looting.
They got them out safely. We spoke to the grateful husband.
We both wanted to cry tears of joy that we made it. I think when we saw that plane coming in to approach to land, that gave us a lot of hope. And then, on the aircraft, we kind of just stared at each other and smiled that we made it, and we were rescued by that team and by that unit, and we were just so thankful.
And with another Category 5 hurricane closing in on them roughly 24 hours away, the team packed C-130s with anyone who needed saving.
A day out of making a direct hit on St. Martin again. So you could imagine the state, and the people there knew it. You can imagine the panic and whatnot that was going on. Time wasn't on our side to try to get as many people out as we could. They didn't think they'd make it off the island alive to then getting saved. So you can imagine how happy they felt.
For 3 days, the 106th, alongside Puerto Rican and Kentucky Guard units, Dutch Marines, and local responders, evacuated more than 1,000 people, bringing some help to a devastated paradise.
Our mission is to save lives. Everyone who enters this unit, they know that from day one, and whatever training they're doing, that's what you're doing it for.
Ken Bufa, Newsday TV.
Incredible work. Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Only in Newsday, 2/3 of the nation's traffic fatalities are the result of aggressive driving. Newsday investigates this rising trend.
The number one complaint that we get is reckless driving.
Its connection with fatalities and serious crashes.
I don't want to hear that he made a mistake. He killed my daughter and 2 other children.
And what can be done to stop it.
When there's a police officer, people just naturally slow down.
Dangerous roads, aggressive driving. A Newsday investigation. Now available at newsday.com/dangerousroads.
You can see more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other services you see right here. I'm Jasmine Anderson. Have a great Monday.